you will never retire. You will work until the day you die, and if you're lucky, you'll leave just enough so your family can bury you. This is all that waits for you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Young Money Investing. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I want to talk about the growing retirement crisis facing many Americans and touch on the increasing gap between the haves and the have-nots. Now, let me be clear. I have a solution to offer. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and you will not become a millionaire overnight. It does require work on your part. You might have to roll up your sleeves. You might have to sacrifice some things that you care about, and you will definitely be uncomfortable. But isn't it better to be uncomfortable now when you can bear it than when you're 60, 70, 80 years old? You can scream, you can cry, you can complain that it's not fair. Unfortunately, life isn't fair. You don't get things just because you want them, or you say, hey, I deserve that. No, you get things because you earn them. Now, this video will largely be breaking down the problems facing Americans going into retirement, and then the next video I put out will be my 3-step solution that anyone can implement. Really quick, if you would rather play the lottery or choose something that requires zero effort on your part, I suggest you click off now. If you'd rather play the victim and blame everybody else except for yourself for your lot in life, I suggest you click off now. If you're ready to toil for years to get what you want out of life, then the rest of this video is for you. But real quick, before we jump into that, guys, go smash that like button for me. Let me know you want to see part 2 in the comments down below. Part 2 is going to lay out my detailed solution, but right now, let's go ahead and jump into the problem. It is a sad fact that roughly 33% of Americans, that's 57 million people, have zero saved for their retirement. Yes, 1/3 of all American workers have nothing at all saved for their so-called golden years. Now, 37% would be unable to come up with $400 for an emergency, and a whopping 55% would be unable to come up with $1,000. Clearly something is broken. Now take a look at this graph. It shows what percentage of Americans have any sort of retirement account. As you can see, the younger you are, the less likely you are to have any sort of retirement account. Boomers lead the pack at 58%, closely followed by Gen X at 56%. Then we have a slight dip with millennials, which is my own age bracket, at just about 50%. And finally, last but not least, Gen Z at a paltry 8%. This last figure can be largely ignored due to the fact that a majority of Gen Z has not really yet entered the workforce. But for the other generations, what's their excuse? Less than 60% of any generation has set up a designated retirement account. Why? Most employers will offer a 401k, usually with a matching contribution. If you don't already have one set up, you're missing out on an immediate raise. Think of it like this. Let's say I contribute 5% of my paycheck, and my employer will match this contribution, so 5% and another 5%, without doing anything. Without speaking to anyone, with literally no effort on my part, I have just given myself a 5% raise. Or another way to think about it is in terms of investing. So if I came to you and I said, I can offer you 100% returns on your money with zero risk to you, you would think I was full of it. But that's exactly what a 401k offers. I put X amount of money into this account, and without doing anything, without buying or selling anything, the amount of money that I put in doubles every single time. Now, I'm not saying the 401k is the holy grail when it comes to retirement. In fact, it's only one tool available to you, and I don't even think it's the best tool. But let's do a little math. The typical rate of return on a 401k is about 5% after fees and expenses. assuming a median salary of $60,000 and that your employer will match your contribution 100% up to 5%. If you start with nothing and you work a 40-year career, at the end of that, you will have $725,000. This is where the problem gets messy. $725,000 might sound like a lot of money to some of you, but it really isn't that much, especially when you factor in inflation and taxes. Assuming taxes stay the same and you can survive on less than $45,000 a year, you'll pay 12% in taxes. That brings your total down to $652,000. Even if we assume that inflation averages 2% over the next 40 years, which I think is unlikely, that's less than $326,000 in today's money. Do you think you could live 20, 30, even 40 years on $326K? Even if you could, would you really want to? If you follow the traditional routes, you will never retire. You will work until the day you die. And if you're lucky, you'll leave just enough so that your family can bury you and they won't be burdened by your death. Now you might be thinking Social Security will step in and save you. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Social Security is dying a slow death and it will only accelerate as more Americans continue to retire and we live longer and longer lives. The current estimates say that Social Security Fund will run out of money between 2033 and 2035. That's only 10 years away. Now, I don't know about you, but I find it extremely unlikely that anybody from my generation sees a penny from Social Security. There are only two paths in front of the Social Security Administration. Either benefits go down or taxes go up. If benefits go down, great! That's even less money in the future you have to look forward to. And if taxes go up, that means you have less money in the present to work with. Neither option benefits you. We haven't even touched on personal savings yet. Honestly, I don't want to spend too much time here. Interest rates have been so low for so long that if you were putting money into a savings account over the past decade, you're hopelessly behind on your retirement. Even now, the average yield on a savings account is only about 0.5%, which is 1/10 of what you would get on a 401k. If you legitimately believe that you can save your way to retirement, let alone to wealth, you're in for a very rude awakening. To summarize, if you follow the traditional path to retirement, it's not going to end well. You won't have enough money from your savings or retirement accounts, and Social Security is not going to help you in any material manner, if at all. Luckily, your boy's got a solution. It's not going to be easy, but I do think it will stave off poverty and it could even make you wealthy. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where I introduce you to my EAT system, or EAT. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Peace out, homies.